Where the party's at?
It is. I'm like sitting here going, did I click the wrong link?
You're just early.
I am. What's happening with you?
What?
I said, what's happening with you?
Oh, just working like a dog. Okay, I'll shut my door, Charles.
Shut up.
Stop talking. I know we're talking about converting my office into a bathroom because we only have one bathroom. And my husband's a plumber, by the way. But so we were talking about making this a bathroom and putting my office and my workout space upstairs when my oldest son moves out. And Mason's like, oh my God, please don't do your meetings up here. I think it'll be just fine. It'll be just fine.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it'll be bad. us on one floor will just be bad. But how's your construction coming along? I will start the recording again.
Oh. So Deanna, do you think we should do a UPF after we're done with our?
Yes, there's a whole guide provided for us to run one.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just don't. I think we run it different though than we've done it in the past because it's so freaking long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing. It's like because what was it, like 3 weeks of prep and then a full month of actually using it. And I think we just go into the full month of using it, but maybe we list a video each day or something, or have a prep week where you get the basics and then into it. But I definitely think we should, especially after we go through all of this learning, you know what I mean? I think it'll be fun to put it into action.
I agree. I think that would be great. Why get certified if we can't use it, right?
Totally. And I was going to run, so like a couple months ago, I did like a basics, I did a 21-day fix, kind of back to basics group. And I have had so many people, because that was 3 months, still engaged just because of that group. And they really established their workout habit. So I was going to do that again. Because we could even kind of, you know what I mean? But they could be in both, right? Like if they want to, like that can be back to a basic kind of group. And then they can also jump into a UPF group if they want. But just, I think running those kind of basic starter groups is really instrumental, because if you're dropping them into a regular group, there's a lot that can be missed. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of things we assume people know that can be missed.
Deanna, was that did you create the content for that, or was that through, I don't remember who you used.
I used the 21-day fix because everybody did 21-day fix. So I used that guide and then I did a video every day.
Okay. Because I think a lot of people need something super basic. I mean, just like spoon feeding the information.
And just focusing on more singular, right? Just checking off the workout. Not that I like super duper did the plan and, you know, just kind of getting the steps down.
Yeah. I just did, so in Cindy Yost's group, I'm sorry, Lily, I totally took over.
No. Take over.
We're just rambling. We're rambling. She has a tracker and it's like weekly and it's a Google form, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't love it, but I've noticed since I've been really busy in my full-time job, I haven't been able to do my daily accountability posts. And this is a really great way to get people into that. But it has certain colors that you focus on. So like certain columns are things you focus on. So there's 4 things in there, which is your workouts, your water, your sleep, and I can't remember the last one I said was really important, but you know what I mean? Staying on track with your nutrition. So yeah, I think just simplifying it for people, like this stuff might be overwhelming and the white might be overwhelming, but this is what you really need to focus on. I don't know. We'll see. I just started that today. But
so this is in the leadership group or in the regular, like a regular group that she runs?
So it's in the leadership group in her mentorship. So she has us doing business trackers, the business stuff. So like one day is like, how many columns? 15, 20 columns of story posts, like what you should be doing, your daily posts, like all of the things, obviously your Shakeology, the simple things, doing your inviting. So it's a different kind of a success club tracker. And she will like call us out and be like, you didn't do all your blues because the blues are the more important things. So I took that exact same format and put it into for my challengers. So that they can have that accountability for a full week instead of me having to post every day, which I know sounds terrible, but I just don't have the capacity right now to do it. So
not terrible at all. I mean, why do you think I purchase guides?
No, no.
You know what I mean? Creating content it takes a long time sometimes, and I am all in on this purchasing out what you can if you need to.
Yeah, that's why I was asking too. I think I'm gonna have to buy something.
Okay, we'll let you go now, Lily.
I think running a 21-day fix. No kidding. I think that running a 21-day fix group is as a refresher for people that have been doing it for a while, or people that have fallen off the wagon, or people that have never done it before. I think it's a great idea because it's a good refresher for everybody, or to even get people's feet wet who are super scared of the containers and don't know what to do with them, and it's too much work to even try to figure it out. I mean, I've had a couple of people that are like, I'm not doing that because it's too confusing. They like try one day and it's like, no, you got to try more than just one day. So I think in a group setting to do a refresher like that would be helpful for a lot of people, myself included. So.
Oh, that was.
So I know.
That was probably me messaging.
You're messaging yourself.
I was messaging the team. Well, Melanie said she couldn't make it, so I was like, I'll try to get the recording up as soon as possible.
Oh, well, happy Monday, you guys. Nice to see you guys. I always look forward to these days because it's so fun. So. Do you guys have some wins that you guys would like to share? Anybody listen to the wake up call this morning and have some wins from that? Or
no, I'll listen to it tomorrow.
Hey, Joy.
I just caught the end of it, so I didn't get a lot of it. But I think one win is there's a whole bunch of us on here that started on our UPF certification today. So that's pretty exciting.
Yes.
What do you have to do for that?
So we're just watching the videos, and then there's a couple quizzes through the thing, and then a final test. So it's like laid out by what you watch each day. So we just jumped into a group together. Sue and I think was it Mariana, you guys kind of conspired to start doing it together. And so then, we're just going to go by the calendar, and it'll finish up in 2-ish weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, and that counts towards your NASM CEUs, is that right?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is huge. Like, that's really, really cool. I don't have that certification, but.
So if anybody wants to join in on it, by all means, jump in and purchase it. Or if you already have it, start up with us, because more the merrier.
For sure. And there's a lot of great information to learn. I mean, in there. So even if you're just learning it for yourself to try to eat a better balanced diet, there's a ton of information in there. So I would highly recommend it, even if you're just doing it for yourself. So.
Is that the same thing as the portion fix, Lily?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the packages, that's the 149, right?
It's 99.
Because I have it. I looked at I know Kim sent me last week, but I tried it and it's not 99. It's 149. That's like I cannot find the one that it says $99.
I had to be logged in first to see it, because then it shows you're a coach. And then it's as you scroll over to look at the options, it was just one of the options. There was a 149, but there is a 99 also.
So
I wonder do you have the nutrition programs? So then it should only be 99.
Yeah, because I'm signing on the membership for the ultimate portion.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find the link for you, Maribel, and send it to you after the call.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah. So. Well, I did listen to the wake up call, and I thought the biggest thing that I took away was don't overcomplicate building a team. Keep it simple and one conversation at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself, which I don't know if I'm really bad at that or good at that, but I tend to overthink some things sometimes and make it harder than it is, other than just having a conversation with people of, hey, you know, I think you'd be great at this. Or one of the things that she said was that just be real and show how excited you are about coaching and what you love about it, especially like that goes with what we did on the Power Hour today of the call of making a post about what are 3 things that you love about coaching, and just sharing that, just simple sharing, you know, what do you love, and being excited about it, and keeping it simple. So that was one of the drawbacks or the takeaways that I got from the call this morning when I listened to it.
Sorry, my cat's gone wild.
Sounds like spring break. Sorry.
Oh, anybody else have any takeaways or wins for the week or from last week?
Well, a little bit. I'm eating more carbs, and I am noticing a lot of improvement. Not hungry. Like after lunch, normally if I eat something, I would feel tired. And with me increasing on my containers, I have felt really good. I'm getting less afraid of eating carbs instead of thinking I'm going to work out 2 workouts and losing the pounds I want to lose. No, it doesn't work like that.
That's awesome. And that is very true. Don't be afraid to eat the carbs. For sure. And Amwala will kick your butt too. So that's a great non-scale victory. I love hearing those kinds of victories because they have nothing to do with the scale, and it's all about how you feel, and it's also a mindset as well, because a lot of people are scared of eating a carb. So that's a great mindset. So.
Jen, you had some pretty good non-scale victories too. I remember reading about them and I was like, yeah. I don't remember what they were specifically, but I remember thinking like, that's awesome.
Yeah, just a couple of bumps on the Fitbit for a few metrics. That was pretty cool. And I think it's really related to increasing my cardio every single day, like really getting my heart rate up. Mm-hmm. And I've always had a pretty good cardio score, but it's hard to get it to move even like one little point. And then my resting heart rate has been really low, which is so good. It's just makes me feel like I'm doing the right things for what my body needs.
Whatnot, because I don't have any of the technology. So I don't have a reference point except the bike.
Yeah.
And that thing that I'm putting on my arm. And I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad, or if it's right or wrong. I'm just wondering like, what's a good resting heart rate, and what's a good calorie burn or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, how do I know? And do I need all the technology, do you think?
I don't think you need it. So for me, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but once you have a baseline for yourself, then you're able to track if you're maintaining or, hitting some other goals that you want to hit, things like that. It's always, I feel like it's good to have a baseline number. Same with like the scale, you can't, we always say don't focus on the numbers, but it's good to have the numbers as like a way to track, you know, and once you have a baseline, you can see improvements in what you're doing. And for me, like, you know, everybody's different and how they react to certain programs. Some programs for certain people work better than the other. And that's why I always tell like my customers, you know, try out several different programs, you know, because if you're not feeling good with one program or getting good results with one program, then you might in another. And it just means that's what your body wants or does better with. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it just feels like it's interesting because I think we were talking on Lily's Zoom this morning about Let's Get Up and how surprised we were with that program, because, you know, when I first heard it was coming out, I just didn't want to do like another size, you know what I mean? But I'm getting so much more out of it. I'm getting resistance training, I'm lifting weights, I'm doing little bits of insanity. I'm spiking my heart rate. I'm increasing my heart rate just with the dance portions, the dance part of it, but then the little spike with insanity and then the weight. I just feel like it's a really good balance for me. And I'm noticing that in my own numbers. So long story short, no, you don't need a Fitbit. It's nice to,
you know, before, even with like 80-day obsession or, you know, some of the work, you know, I'm getting different definition, and I like the lifting portion of it as well. So I agree with you. I definitely think it's a great all around program. And even if you can't dance, it's still fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually got my sister, we're doing 9-week Control Freak. And so I'm finishing up my second round. She's finishing up her first round and we'll be done at the end of May, which I said, okay, I'm going to do Let's Get Up, but I can't get her to like, she doesn't think she was going to want it. She's liking the weights. She doesn't like cardio. She used to love to dance, you know, just like club dancing. So I think it would be a really good program for her, but I don't know how to like tell her to like, this is the one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you guys work out together at all?
She's a tough one. She came to one Zoom that we did as a group. And then I think I got her to do one Zoom with me privately, but she's just private right now, you know, to get her to open up. I mean, she's just starting to post like, I can't believe this is 7 weeks and I'm doing it, you know, like it's really taken her, and she's older than me. So this is her first workout program ever, you know, like when we were growing up, I did sports, she didn't do anything. So it's like a big change for her, but she's loving it and I want to keep it going, you know? So I'm trying to like think of what's a good next program for her. And I'm like, I want you to do Let's Get Up with me. But I want to be able to tell her like, why? Like, this is so good because, you know, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
What motivates her? What are her goals and what motivates her?
Well, I think ultimately her goals is just to be more fit. She doesn't want to like drop a ton of weight because I think she's happy with herself. She just wants to be more active, more fit. She's got 2 little kids, 8 and 4 or something like that. No, he's 3. God, 8 and 3. So, you know, she wants to do good for them, you know, and she's starting to now get why I like it, you know, because it makes you feel happy. So I think she's, you know, I think that's kind of a goal for her, to be more fit. Weight loss wouldn't hurt because of course nobody minds that, right? So, but ultimately I think it's just to feel good and enjoy.
Well, there's some right there. That'll bring a lot of joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's intimidated by it, but so was I. I was intimidated by the whole like dancing part of it. And I'm like, I liked size, but I did size. And like Jen, I was like, okay, I'm good. But then I did his Facebook Live workout and I was like, oh my God, that was hard.
Well, I feel like these moves, although it seems like we're dancing, we're lunging a lot, we're squatting a lot, we are in a sumo squat position often, we are moving our hips. I feel like I'm getting more fluid and like I cannot Like I need more mobility in my body anyways. So I feel like this is helping a little bit with that. We are constantly like in the toning kind of moves, like a lot of toning. So it does, the music makes you happy. Of course, all of the cast makes you happy. Shanti's like so fun. And and dancing is, it does bring you joy. That's kind of what they talk about. But honestly, like the program is really good. Like as far as like the actual results, he says like in a lot of the moves, he's like, I want you to focus on like your glutes or like really squeezing, or like when you're going to feel it in your biceps or your triceps when you're pushing back. And I do, even though we're not holding weights all the time. So you could tell her that like, it's very upbeat, it's fun, but honestly, don't think of it as like a dance thing if she's worried about that, because honestly, there's so much more to the program. Like I wish people wouldn't sleep on this program, because it's not just a dance program. Mm-hmm. And you just explain it to her that way. And if you decide to get it, maybe like somebody mentioned, try to work out with her a couple of times and do a few. Try one of the weight ones, try one of the dance ones in the beginning, and just see and mention those kind of things to her. And, but again, not every program is for everyone. So if she's totally not into it and she really likes autumn, maybe put her towards another autumn program.
Yeah.
I would say if you're going to do one, do the dance conditioning Let's Turn Up, which is kind of the starter one that kind of shows you what the moves are. Yep. I actually hadn't done that one because I apparently skipped that one because I just went straight into the program and didn't do that one. But that one is more of, it kind of shows you how each move is going to go throughout the program, and they do a lot of different moves. But he kind of teaches you how to do each move, so that if I would have done that one first, then I probably would know a lot more of the moves throughout the program. Yeah. Okay. So that would be a good one to kind of tease somebody with and to have them, if you can get her to do a workout with you, that's what I would suggest, is that one.
Okay.
So
yeah, I definitely think I could. Maybe not a group, but I could probably definitely get her to do it privately. Cool. I'll try that one. Thank you.
Yeah. Kim, did you jumped on late? Do you have any wins that you'd like to share, or anything about the wake up calls this morning?
I missed the wake up call this morning. But were there good things? Should I listen to the wake up call? Did you guys like it? I was curious, did it conflict with any of the stuff we heard on the compliance call? Are you supposed to get to Emerald by signing your husband and your mother? Did she say that?
She
locked that out.
She did sign her husband, yes, as her first coach.
Just curious about that. But I didn't get to listen yet. And wins. My win was that I and you guys probably saw this, I'm calling it my self-care Hail Mary this weekend, because I was really low and had this weekend planned. It was just a one-night trip, but worked out really great, really lifted my spirits. And I got a massage. I was also able to get a massage, which I hadn't done since COVID, since way before COVID. So that was really nice. So that's my win.
That's a win in my book.
That's a great win, because self-care is so important. Taking care of yourself, you gotta do it for sure.
I just have to get the self-care not to mean donuts and cake. So I'm working on that part, but the massage was good. And I got a good run in my favorite place. So that was good.
Nice. Well, I have a win. Actually, I just got a message out of the blue from a lady that I had friended on Facebook, and she just shared, she said, I want to say hello and thank you. And I have not even had any conversations with this lady before, other than just kind of back and forth on each other's posts. And she said, I just want to share your post last Friday really touched me and got me started and going. And so coaching for me is helping other people. And so that really touched my heart. And so it's not always monetary, and it's not always signing another coach or signing another customer. It's, you know, stuff like that to me. So it was cool to receive that message.
That's awesome.
Well, moving on, if anybody else has any wins, we're going to move on. So.
I love that the most, Lily. I really do. I feel like that's the best part of doing what we do, you know, because a purchase is a purchase, you know, and it's not like one person is, unless they, you know, obviously are residual income or whatever, but if you can really just impact their life overall, regardless of a purchase or not, then that is just like the best feeling, better than a paycheck.
I agree. It was warm and fuzzies when I read it. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'll take that as something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was cool to receive.
And also, I feel like, you know, oftentimes we feel like what we're putting out there is in vain because we don't always get the feedback. And it's nice to get the feedback, and you get gratification out of knowing what you're doing is, you know, valuable and important for people. And so when you're able to hear a little bit of feedback like that, you know, even sometimes in person, when I see somebody and they're like, I love what you post, but they never say anything otherwise, you know, that's like the kind of stuff that I really love to hear and, you know, have come back to me, you know, more than anybody purchasing anything. So just knowing that our presence on social media is not in vain, because sometimes it can be daunting to always have to come up with content and, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to know that your posts are making a difference, for sure.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. And so the next thing that is happening is the product launch on the 19th, which is super exciting. I what's going to happen, but it's supposed to be like a mini super weekend, I guess, with the product launch is what they said on the morning wake up call this morning. So it's supposed to be similar to that with all the new exciting stuff that is happening. They decided to do it on the Champions page at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hopefully you can jump on there. I'm assuming it's just going to be a live like they normally do, but maybe, I'm not quite sure. Maybe they're just going to load something. I don't know. Anybody else have any ideas?
I think Janelle's post said, oh, sorry. Jen. No, I think Janelle's post said that Carl was going to go live on the Champions page. So just keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
Have you guys ever been approached from Beachbody to take a survey in regards to products?
Okay. Yes, but we're not supposed to talk about it.
No, I know. That's why I was just like, am I the only one? Yeah, clearly I'm not. So I'm curious if it's that one.
What was that, Deanna?
I've just had 2 or 3. Some were apparel. This last one wasn't. So.
Mm-hmm. This was my first one. So I was like, oh, I wonder if anybody else knows, you know. So maybe we'll learn about it on Wednesday. That'd be pretty cool.
Yes, it'll be really interesting to see what is the new product, what products, the merge, and going public. I finally bought some stock today. Beverly, did you buy yours?
No, I got everything set up except for getting my my bank account attached to it. So gotcha. I just have to, well, but I guess it's not attached to it because it says it's a one-time draw.
They still have your data though.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Ameritrade was the one that I created an account on, but I don't have time to do any other option at this point to get the money to them.
Yeah, I did mine on E-Trade, and it took a week for the money to officially be in the account to allow me to purchase the stock. It was quite a while.
Well,
it took 6 days on Robinhood for me too.
This is 24 hours if you link it to your bank account and just do a draw. There was something else that took like 2 to 3 days, and to mail them a check took 6 days or something. I guess 6 days until once you get it, and then they clear it or whatever. So
I mean,
mine FRX or is it BOD yet?
It's still FRX, but there isn't. I don't think there's an actual date of the merger.
I haven't heard of it.
If that's what he's saying on the 19th, also.
Maybe. I mean, I'm gonna take that 20 cents I've earned so far and get me something good.
Good for you. I'm down $40 right
what?
now.
I'm down too.
But that's, I don't know. It's before everything though. So
yeah. I'm not concerned.
Yeah. I hear you.
I bought just because it's a piece of the pie, and who knows what'll happen. And I'm not looking to make millions, because that's not why I invested in.
I am.
You know,
are you kidding?
I know, right?
Well, okay. Okay, I'm not banking on making millions.
I'm with Sean T on this one. Money.
Yeah.
It would be nice, sure, but I'm not banking on that happening for me. So, but you never know what'll happen once it goes live and they merge and everything. I mean, I have no idea. I don't think anybody does. And hopefully we'll know more on the 19th as to what is happening or what's going to happen in the future. So.
Sorry, there's a Forest Road and a Forest Road 2 now.
Oh, I don't know. I just bought FRX, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's just FRX.
I just searched and one came out FRXB, Forest Road 2.
That could be that acquisition company's other funding. Like they could be, because they're an investment company. So maybe because this one is tied to BOD at some point, they still need one to be able to manage other funding.
Interesting. I don't know anything about investing.
I don't either.
So once they go, does that mean we can't buy stock from them?
You can buy stock at any point.
Any point?
Yep.
Yeah. It's just when something opens like this, there's a potential for you to have some gains in the beginning of something. That's just, it's not assumed or, but that's kind of why people go public, and then more money is raised, and more capital is a part of the acquisition. I mean, I'm sure that's why they did the promo codes. You just boosted our coach network.
That was probably also why Mix did that sale.
Right.
Probably. But hopefully, again, we'll know more on the 19th.
Which then also goes to why the compliance call was so very interesting, because when you're going public, you're even under more scrutiny that your business is acting properly.
Yeah, I got the impression that it was multiple, like lots and lots of calls, that it wasn't just special for somewhere in our upline or whoever it was.
I'm sure they're going through the whole network and just offering up calls to any, certain level of diamond that wants it on their team. And I'm sure you could get a call with compliance at any point if you wanted. I mean, that, I can't remember her name, Melinda, she gave us her email, and she's like, email me directly if you want to know anything. She's like, if you have a post and you're not sure if it's compliant, send it to me and I'll let you know.
If you have a t-shirt design that you're going to print, send it to me and I'll approve it. I didn't hear that one though.
You're adorable. You're so worked up about the t-shirt part.
If you have a husband who you don't want to tell that you're going to make him a coach, make sure you tell him that you're making him a coach.
That's a good
that has been Jess kind of filled me in on some of this stuff, and it's like, I'm sorry, but all that stuff was kind of, it's been around.
Yeah,
I mean, there's been, basically what has happened is like people have gotten their husbands or significant others signed up, and then they'll get divorced and their husbands don't have a clue, or compliance will contact mom or dad or aunt or sister and say something to them like, do you know this coach, and they're clueless as to the fact that you took their information and created an account. So as long as these people know that, hey, you're a coach, and if anybody ever calls you, you coach, that's what you do. So, that's been there.
I think that it was because they were making money, like, off of, for tax purposes. If your husband, you're using his social and then he's got to file taxes or something. But if he doesn't have clients himself, he could be a coach and that not be an issue, right?
Right. My husband's never gotten a 1099 or anything. He's never done any sales, maybe $50 over 8 years or something.
My husband has.
The way she made this sound was that if you have a client though that calls because they're listed under someone else and they are confused of why they're listed under someone else, that is where some of this has been coming in. Yep. And that if they do find out about it, they are shutting people down at this point. So there isn't I don't know if they were doing that before, unless it was egregious, but because she kind of made it sound like because of the going public, they're really a little more eagle-eyed on it. Mm-hmm. The other piece I thought was really fascinating is they have a third party who does searches through social media to see where there's non-compliance. So it sounded like she had contacted Heather Munka about a post from 2017 is what I gathered from their kind of side talk, because she listed income numbers, and that's now a no-no.
I think it looks tacky in the first place. So that's just my opinion. But
most people don't do that anymore right now anyway. But a lot of people did do that then. And the funny part is 2 days earlier before that compliance call, I had a numbers post from 2017.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if that was just the training.
I didn't
mean
to say that.
No, I know you think I'm tacky. It's all right.
No, I mean, there was a period of time where you saw a lot of posts like that.
Yeah, where it's like a picture and they list their first and
I mean, I'm sure I reposted my uplines. There were
several of them. Do it all the time, and we would share her posts.
Kelly posted it. Yeah, it was clearly
they have a lot of posts to go through.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but it's interesting. But what happens is I think this social media company sends them the more egregious, right? And then they kind of go through and see if there's something they want to do about it. But the interesting part is it sounds like they are contacting people if there's things out there that they don't want on social media to get it off. So it's, it's kind of an interesting process to think about.
I mean, it's not like they were an untrue post. I don't know why. I feel like you should be able to post that.
Well, I never posted the disclaimer when I posted stuff. I don't know if you did, but that's part of it. And then part of it now is she made it sound like they just want you to be so vague about the amount of money you could potentially make only if you work Beachbody with your workload. It's not guaranteed. It's like, it has to be so out there.
Isn't that just common sense? I feel like that's one of those lawsuits that the coffee is too hot lawsuits. I just, because you made it doesn't mean that I'm going to make it. Of course I can't hold Beachbody responsible. I don't know. It's just annoying.
People want to believe that they can make millions of dollars with Beachbody in 3 months. People are just ignorant to that. Even that Dave Ramsey post I had my coach shirt on and he posted it. I cannot tell you how many people were pissed because he was marketing an MLM and they're like, this is bullshit. You didn't pay off your credit card with all this money. I'm like, did you read the post? Yeah, I took, people they take it for face value and they're so literal. People are just silly, Yeah,
and I think you have to remember too, you're in an MLM that has a really good reputation. And there's a lot of MLMs that really use a lot of shady practices, and you know, maybe telling people that they could make $1 million by the end of the year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true, but even if they're, well, that's, I mean, I have been to one of those meetings where they're like, imagine your $1 million beach house, and I can imagine it, but that wasn't going to sue the company when it didn't happen. I don't know.
Compliance would come and get them, obviously.
It's like, it reminds me of the Schitt's Creek episode where they're all like, oh, that car is really hard to get or whatever. So, of course, it's a comedy, you know.
Right.
She talked about even things like making claims that Shakeology cures diabetes, or she talked about all different kinds of claims that you could make with any of the products. Like if it doesn't say it on the label specifically, you probably shouldn't say it.
Yeah,
or imply it,
marketing it
or
that
anything.
way, you can't say it. Yeah.
You know, I don't know why, if that's your experience, why you can't say it either. Like, I mean, now that I've had time to think about it, I mean, I think I posted when my husband brought his A1C down in 3 months, you know, or something, and Shakeology was a part of that. I don't see why, if that's my personal experience, I can't post it. But
and I think it's that you can verbally sell someone that, you can verbally have those conversations. It's that posting and recordings are forever, and they're not backed up by something. So I think it's more like those are just for personal conversations that you're having with someone.
So how about Kim, instead of necessarily saying Shakeology, just say superfood shake. Say give the products another name. And as long as you're not putting the name with the claim, in my opinion, then you're not giving people, this is what it is. You're not making a direct claim about something, but you're sharing the experience that you had with a product. And there's no way for them to prove you could be talking about something off Amazon. They have no proof about that. So, and somebody can't go and Google that product name and decide what it is.
I mean, I think I only posted once or twice about that, but it's just in theory, like, I think, you know, but I guess as long as you use the disclaimer too, I don't know. I just have to put the disclaimer and everything.
Can we call you Bevy? Can that just be your new nickname?
My grandma called me Bevy.
Really? Oh, that's so cute. I'm so sorry. That was so random, but I've been thinking about that for like at least 3 days.
Well, yeah, when Carl kept saying on Super Saturday, first of all, it didn't sound like he was saying what is it? What does he call it? Something Bevy. What is it? F-E Bevy. It didn't sound like he was saying F-E Bevy. He kept saying Evie Bevy, Evie Bevy, Evie Bevy. And it was just like,
yeah.
That's just so weird. It was like I kept hearing my grandma like Bevy, Bevy, Bevy.
Effing Bevy. You're cute.
That's what I thought it sounded like, effing Bevy. I remember thinking that.
That's me too.
Effing Bevy. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
That would be an easier spell, effing Bevy.
Has anybody tried it yet that they think it works? Like besides me?
Definitely does. Yes, it's amazing. I love it.
I'm shipping mine to Robin, so that's all I'll say about that.
I don't love the taste at all, but I could tell you, like, it has been working for me to focus, and like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm full. Why am I full? And then it's like, oh, duh.
So it makes me hungry because of the sweetness. It makes me like very hungry, but the focused energy, I always liked the focused energy. I just didn't like to drink it plain because focused energy tastes like dirt or something. It just didn't taste good. And I didn't always want to have a shake in order to have it. So I would just drink it on its own, and it's just, no. So yeah.
I water mine down a lot. Maybe that's helps. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I use
30 ounce for 1 scoop.
Oh, okay. See, I use 16 ounces for 1 scoop. I've actually thought about using half a scoop because it's like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet.
Really? I don't think it's sweet.
Are you taking it warm, Beverly?
I've had it both, warm and cold. Yeah. No. But I'm the one that doesn't like Trulies. Like, because they're too sweet. Like I need to cut it with a bubbly or some other
with vodka.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah.
Right. I agree.
I too. They're just so sweet. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, and I know it's because they use stevia and an additional sweetener. It's like, no, you should have stopped with one. For the love, just stop with one.
Yeah, I think this one is sweeter than the just regular bevy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think because it's trying to cover up the earthy flavor of the focused energy.
Well, I can say it does work for me at least.
Yeah.
I needed some this afternoon when I read Jen's post. So.
I took some after you said that, actually. I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go take some.
Oh, all right. Well, we have, what do we have? A few more minutes here. Jess, I saw you had posted something about doing another Schitt's Creek group, and we also don't have another free group. Are we gonna do something along that line? Are you wanting us all to join you? Are you wanting to do your own group? Do we want to do something else?
I don't care. I'll say what I'm doing. I'm just repeating my Schitt's Creek group. I'm just reusing the same content. I'm not gonna lie. I Googled stuff from Lindsay Matway's private group that I got into, and she had some old posts that I am reusing. Don't tell anyone. I've changed them and made them my own, but it's like 80% her language. Don't tell anyone, really. Anyway, I would, that makes me wonder though about a free group around Schitt's Creek, because people really even people that haven't watched it are like, they just really have fun with it. And who doesn't laugh their ass off when they see a Schitt's Creek meme anyway, or a GIF? I'm like, they're so funny. And you can be passive aggressive, which is my favorite thing.
Don't get it.
Oh, you've got to watch it sometime, Robin. It takes a couple episodes.
I do. I have to watch it because I just don't get it. I look at that and I'm like, I don't get that shit.
I don't get that shit. And that's what's funny about it.
Robin, I watched like 2 episodes back ages ago, and I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to watch this. And then my husband ended up watching it, and he's hysterical because he's that kind of guy that laughs at like everything. And so I was like, all right, I'll give it another shot. And I was like, this is so funny.
Yeah,
you have to like give it a shot.
Yeah. It took me 2 times too. Pretty funny.
Along those lines, I actually gave somebody a thumbs up the other day on one of my posts, meaning fuck you. Sorry. Do you remember we had that conversation of did it really mean that?
It does, in different languages. I think
sorry for the profanity.
Kim, if you want to say that to me, you could just say it. You don't have to do it.
It wasn't any of you. No, it was.
I'm like, wait a minute. Did you like my post?
No, right? It was an old friend of mine that commented on how many meals we ate when I posted this weekend, and they were like, "That's a lot of food in one day." And the friend I was with was really offended by that, and I was like, "Just give her a thumbs up," And she was like, "No." So I did later, but
oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
Oh,
but now funny. I know. Now I know why. Now I understand how that works.
Oh. Well,
so Jess, when are you starting that, or did you already start it?
It's prep week right now, and I'm remembering that I think I was supposed to add Kim in there, and I
need to be in that
failed, so I will do that right now.
I would like
right
to
meow. You're gonna do it right meow.
Right meow.
It's a whole nother world. What?
Yes.
No.
You make fun of our cats? No.
Cats?
No.
Your cat. I talk about all of your guys' cats. Like, it is the funniest thing.
You know what? Our cats.
I was talking about Super Troopers.
I am talking about Super Troopers. I'm so glad you knew that reference.
Heck yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I was talking about.
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Hold on, let me get Kim in here. If you haven't seen that, also I'm encouraging everyone to watch Schitt's Creek and Super Troopers.
Brace yourselves with Super Troopers.
Super Troopers is
not for children.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or the form.
What is it called, Bev?
Super Troopers. It's a good one for you and your husband. Not for kids.
It's kind of a raunchy comedy, so just a heads up.
Yeah. It's more of a guy movie than unless you're a girl that really
like
gets the guy humor. What?
Like Jessica Wilkin. That's my kind of humor. I'm pretty sure I was a guy in my past life, so it's hilarious. Oh, if you hate it, just don't tell me about it. That's fine. We'll still be friends.
Did anybody see my video of my backyard today?
Oh.
Yeah, the cicadas. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
Randy,
disgusting in my backyard.
Oh no, really? Oh, thank you for warning me. I'm not gonna look.
Yeah,
those
don't
things
look
really,
if you don't want to. Yeah.
I don't like them.
They're disgusting. I'm watching it now. That's so gross.
I know.
Where's the accident? I need to look.
Are they coming to your house?
They're in my backyard. I could see it on the trees from the window.
What are those, Kim?
Wait, are they just the shells? Or are they coming out of the shells?
Some of them are shells that have come out. Some of them were live and crawling around in there.
My God.
Oh my gosh.
Like the horror turn into a butterfly or something? Like what do they do?
No, they turn it. Well, no, no, this is what they do. So they come out every 17 years. They climb up the trees. I guess when they get to the leaves, then they mate with another one, and then they die, and the larvae fall down into the ground and dig down and stay, and then come back out 17 years later. So it's really gross. Like that means they're always under my ground too, like forever.
So every 17 years they come out to have sex and then they're done and bye-bye?
Yeah.
No, but I feel like we get them more often than every 17 years though.
I agree.
But I think that their life cycle is that though.
Big cycle is now. Like I think they're
wow.
I don't remember it being this, like my son remembers because he was 11 and they were running around killing them everywhere and stuff, but they only have like a 2-week life cycle. I have to wait 17 years to have a good time.
Sounds like an episode of Jeepers Creepers.
It is terrifying.
Their eyeballs are like really weird and they make this awful, well, first of all, they make an awful sound, just the sound that they make just on the trees or whatever. But then if they fly up, like they'll land on you and they're gigantic.
But they don't bite or sting.
No, but they
bite or
are really
creepy. They're a good source of protein, and like everything eats them. All the animals eat them. Birds were flying and catching them mid-flight and eating them, like as if I was below water or something. And
that's funny.
I'm gonna have bad dreams. Thank you. Thanks.
I just wanted to point that out.
No, I'm glad you did. That's really cool.
No,
it's scary. It's okay. I like the sound of cicadas as long as they're like in a distance. I don't like them flying at my face, but it's kind of, it reminds me of summer, childhood summers. No. Deadly.
No.
I don't like the sounds of outdoors at night unless it's, bug wise. I like to hear like the frogs and whatever birds or the howling or anything like that, but I don't like the crickets and they just they're like nails on a chalkboard for me. It's like, oh my gosh.
Move to the West Coast. We don't get any of that.
The Midwest is really bad for it.
Oh.
We have cricket. We don't have those things. Crazy things.
Are they worse in Missouri, Beverly?
They what?
Are they worse in Missouri? Because we don't have them here in Arkansas much.
Yeah, and the cicadas, they scream. They literally scream. They're like, they're so loud.
In your cat's mouth, and they're like screaming and trying to get out.
No, but they just scream. Like they screech. They're really, yeah.
Not to interrupt your Sick in a challenge here, but I wanted to circle back to a collaborative challenge. I started putting together like a page to do a group, but I'm like at a point where I'm like, okay, now do I change it? Because I'm not really sure where to go or what to do. And I thought it would be cool to invite everybody, but I don't know if it's something you guys would be interested in. So I'm going to throw it out there and see what you guys think. So as you probably know, there's a 30 plant a week thing where you're supposed to have 30 different plants in a week in order to, I don't know, live your best healthy life or whatever. So I've been trying to like put together like almost like a 7-day plant challenge where in 7 days you're supposed to like eat 30 different plants. And so I've been like, you know, kind of trying to find different vegetables and leaves and different colors and this, that, and the other, just trying to make it. But I'm like thinking at the end of the challenge, like whoever, you know, was able to get all their 30 plants, like you could send them like a sample pack of Shakeology or something, or if they didn't get all their plants, that would be a good fill in the rest, you know what I mean? Like to fill in where you've fallen short. I don't know. I've been just putting it together for months now. And I'm like, I really need to either shit or get off the pot. So, and not Schitt's Creek off the pot. Just, it was just one of those things that I was like thinking about. Anybody interested in something like that?
Would you be willing to do like a free group around it? Is that what you're saying? Like maybe
yeah, I mean, I didn't want to like, I'm having trouble finding people to not think it's all bullshit. And I'm like, my angle is like, I'm about health and wellness, and I don't want you to just buy Shakeology. Like I really want people to just be healthy and happy and whatever. And I thought, you know, this would be a good way to kind of offer it up to people. And if they take advantage of it, great. If they, you know, if they want some Shakeology samples or whatever, it's just an opportunity there, you know.
How would you tie it into what we have with like UPF and To Be Mindset? Would you tie it into that at all? Or is this more of trying to get people to eat healthier and branch out in their food options?
Initially it was, let's try to get people to be interested in it, right? Like through UPF and To Be Mindset. But then it was like, well, then people think I'm selling them stuff. So then I kind of circled around to, okay, maybe not. But then, so like some of my posts will have a link to a recipe that's Fix-Ate, right? Or there'll be, you know, a reference to a healthier food choice or whatever that I may have learned through Beachbody, I may have learned from other sources or whatever, but it's just sort of like a conglomerate of information. You know, like I was thinking, okay, so what is the most versatile vegetable? Cauliflower. Who could be an ice cream and a pizza and a rice and you know, a baked dish or a mashed potato, like cauliflower. And it's like, okay, what's your best cauliflower dish? You know, like just random fun things around. And like, when you think about plants, there's also seeds and there's nuts and there's, you know, leaves and there's fruits and there's vegetables. There's just so much around it that I'm like, I feel like there's an opportunity here, but I want to be able to like, I don't know, put my thoughts out there and let people add to it.
I would say run it as a free group, like 3 or 5 days, maybe not require all 30 vegetables. Because when I heard that, I was like, damn, I don't know if I get 30 vegetables.
It's not 30 vegetables, it's 30 plants.
That sounds even.
That's still a lot though, I think.
No, I would just say like break it down, be like, pick 10 plants that you need to focus on. I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas because I know sometimes I can overthink things. So just break it down a little bit smaller.
Plant bingo. Make it plant bingo, and then get as many as you get. Bingo as many people.
Oh, that's bingo. A good idea. I like that. Plant bingo.
Mm-hmm. And just Google it. There's tons out there of bingo cards.
Are you going to provide them recipes that encourage them to get vegetables that they may not normally eat? Like more random vegetables?
I considered a variety of vegetables, but that's not a bad thought. I mean, I was like, for the cauliflower one, I just picked my favorite cauliflower rice recipe. You know, but there's so many options. And that's just the cauliflower. Like there was other things too, like go to the store and get a vegetable or a fruit that you've never had before. Tell us what you thought of it or something like that. So like dragon fruit, I had that a couple weeks ago, and I was surprised. I was like, it's not bad. It's weird, but it wasn't bad. So I'm like, okay, maybe we could just do something like that where it's like something you've never tried before and tell us what you think. And sort of like an interactive thing, but nothing specifically Beachbody, just really healthy, you know?
I would say most of the power hours that we've been on lately, all the leaders have said that shorter free groups are better and that longer free groups are not holding your attention, and you're not per se wasting your time, but you're not going to get this, you're not going to get any better return running a longer group than doing a shorter group. We're also coming up on school getting out and summer, and people's attention spans are shorter. So you might consider doing a shorter group for that, like you said, a 3 or 5 day or a week might be a good one.
So. I was thinking about doing like an open up, you know, like a day or two before the weekend, and then do it through Friday, because it would be 7 days, but you have the weekend to like get foods. You think that's too long, 10 days?
I would say just try it. Like, I think that's the best thing I've done to learn, is just trying and see what my people like. Mm-hmm. You know, again, finding that sweet spot for the people who follow you, and you might find that maybe you want to do it longer. Maybe you want to run a whole group on it. I would say just do what works for you and then adjust accordingly based on your following.
And how do you guys get people to want to be part of it?
So for me, I try to share in ways that I would like, how would I want to join something about vegetables? If someone's trying to tell me that I need to join a vegetable group, I'm like, okay, you need to tell me how I can turn a vegetable into pizza. Like, you need to tell me how I can simplify vegetables, not overcomplicate things. So like when you share a little post or something in a story, just share a little bit about, again, like you said with cauliflower, like you had me at cauliflower. You were like, you can do, it's so versatile. So sharing like little nuggets of what you're going to be talking about throughout will be really, really helpful. And like making it fun, you know.
Also, sorry, go ahead.
No, go, you're done. I'm done. You're good.
If you can, I know a lot of parents, a lot of moms struggle with getting their kids to eat vegetables. So if you can teach people how, like, for instance, I think, isn't it Alana like mixes vegetables into like her tomato sauce or whatever? I don't really, for some reason, I'm not remembering 100%, but you know, ways that you can hide vegetables so that your kids are eating more vegetables without realizing it. Mm-hmm. So if you're giving them tips like that on, you know, how that could help them, I don't know.
If you're making posts about what you want to talk about, but in a really simplified form, because you're not giving them the details, you're giving them the breadcrumb of what you want to talk about. And then you get into anybody that liked or commented, and you message them on the backside and say, hey, awesome, I'm gonna be running this group. Do you want to check it out? It's totally free. Here's what we're gonna do, and done. But it's the message is how people are joining. They're not going to see your post and be like, oh, hey, are you going to run a group? You absolutely have to invite them and follow up and, you know, check in on them.
That was what Trina said today on the call. She's like, people are not going to ask you to join their group. They're not going to say, oh, I love your post. Can I please join you? You know, you've got to ask them. And leave it the way that she worded the post today was, you know, we would love for you to join us. And then anybody that comments like, oh, I like your workout leggings, or, oh, those moves look fun, or something. It's an open-ended, so you can, you know, you can message them and say, have you ever thought about doing a workout program at home? You know, depending on whatever they say on your post. But if you directly ask them to, you know, comment below if you want to join me, you're not going to get people to comment below to join you. So,
okay.
At least that's my experience.
Trina's posts have changed the face of my business 100%. It's just how she does it is like exactly how I do it now, and works fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't had to send a cold invite, which I know people are against that, but I was that person who I would do my 20 or so a day. I haven't had to do that in months. I just invite for my posts now.
Yeah, that's what I do. I invite, and then I follow up, and I follow up, and I follow up, and I'm like a broken record. I really follow up a lot.
I'm not doing hey girls. Oh my gosh. Every time I see people talking about MLMs, it's always hey girl. I'm like, but I actually say that. It's so hard because I'm total hey girl. So that's like, what am I gonna say now?
I think it's just the gist of what that means. Like, it's not like he's saying you can't say hey girl, because that's like our lingo, you know. We always say hey girl, or hey mama, or whatever you want to say, but it's the point of the cold calling. It's the copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Nothing's personal anymore. So I think that's the point of, like, that's gone way out the window now, and that's not the way you should be doing things anymore.
Yeah, personalizing the whatever you're saying to somebody to whatever's on their page, or if you know something about them, is, you know, and the voice memos, you know, that they're recommending, so that they can hear the tone of your voice and how excited you are. I mean, all those are personal touches that even if you are saying, hey girl, you're following it up with something personal, and you're making it not just a copy and paste with generic information. So
that's a really quick and easy way, Marcy, for you to do it too, is if you put a post out about your free plant group or whatever you're going to call it, and whoever likes it or comments it, to send them a voice message, either through text if you know them well, or on Messenger, and just say, hey girl, or whatever you want to say. You know, hey Marcy, I saw you liked my post. I just wanted to see if I could, you know, if you wanted me to add you to the group, or it's free, you can just pop in there and learn a bunch of stuff, or whatever, you know. Voice memos are really good because they can hear you and it's personal.
Just don't add period to the end of it.
Or question mark. Like if you do talk
question mark,
and you're like, blah, 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 question mark, blah, 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 period. Like because when you talk to text, you have to say question mark and period for it to, you know, punctuate your.
But I was talking about like actual voice memo where you're like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's why Lily's saying don't say period.
Voice memo.
No, I've almost said LOL like out loud. I'm like, oh my God, that's like my worst nightmare.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that before. It doesn't look funny.
LMAO.
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
BRB.
Oh God, my kids, if they heard us, it would be over.
Yeah. Well, we are so over time, but we always have so much fun on these calls, so I don't mind. I don't know if anybody else has to go, but 9-week Control Freak is dropping a week from today. So I don't know if anybody has anybody starting. We didn't really talk about doing a group for that, or if we have any customers that are gonna jump on that, and do we want to run a group?
I'm starting, and I know I have a couple other people in that are starting. But I wasn't gonna. I don't know if we need another group.
Yeah, I don't. I have people that are like in the middle of it, and so I don't have anybody that I know of that's gonna start. So. How about anybody else?
I don't have anyone new to Beachbody that's starting. They're all existing Beachbody customers.
Yeah.
So I cannot believe it's going in the library already. What the hell?
I know, it is fast, isn't it?
Jeez, yes.
It does feel like all of it's dropping fast, and like new things are coming, and everything's faster.
Well, it's been 6 months. It came out right before Christmas, which is crazy.
Christmas happened? So. I'm sorry. I gotta go to bed. Oh God.
All right.
Yeah. Clearly I'm tired and I'm getting giggly like a schoolgirl. So anyway.
All right, let's take a picture. we can chat about it later. Next week. All right. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Fun chatting with you guys. If you guys have any post ideas or groups or anything you want to chat about in the future, just drop them in the group. So we didn't talk about challengers of the week or coach of the week as well either. So if you guys have people that you'd like to nominate, we should probably throw up a post in the group.
This is a nice thumbs up. That's a good thumbs up.
That's okay. All right. I can hear somebody's TV.
Thank you. Good night.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.